Everything at the Nets has been so much about Durant and Kyrie that we've seemed to forget there's another all-star on the roster, and his name is Ben Simmons. The 26-year-old has been out for nearly a year, having cited mental health issues along with a painful back injury. Teammate Seth Curry thinks it's going to be a very challenging return to play. Stay tuned, and we'll tell you all about Simmons' return. Let's talk about his first appearance. The last time we saw Ben on the court was back in 2021 when he was playing for the 76ers just before he got traded to Brooklyn. And judging from what we saw, the 26-year-old has a lot of potential, but the way he disappeared from the game was just so odd. What started as an occasional back pain turned into a really bad injury that led to some serious mental problems for the youngster. And while we don't know what he's gone through during the past whole year, we're just glad he's doing much better now. He's been shooting some hoops and working his body, and it seems like he's finally ready to make his first appearance in the Nets jersey. His teammates are super excited to have him on the court because, let's face it, with Durant and Kyrie set to leave, someone has to step up and fill their shoes. And Ben seems like the perfect candidate. He's displayed exceptional skills on the court. But will that be enough to help him smoothly get adjusted to such high-pressure basketball again? Teammate Seth Curry thinks that he'll have a hard time adjusting to such fast-paced and competitive basketball. He's not saying that he won't be able to make a successful return or something. All he's saying is that it's going to be really challenging. Curry said stuff like he didn't have a clear idea on how the 26-year-old is doing mentally, but he did say he saw him train a couple of times, and from the looks of it, his presence will be very impactful on the court. Honestly speaking, Curry has a really valid point here. We have to realize that basketball and the NBA are two different sports. Ben could still school anyone in a 3-on-3 or even a 5-on-5 on a playground or something, but the NBA, now that's a different ballgame. You have to bring your A game, otherwise teams will just pick you apart. And coming back to the NBA after a whole year of inactivity isn't just stressful on the body, it's a task for the mind as well. Next, it's all about the rhythm. Ben is literally overflowing with talent, or at least he was. Guess we'll just have to wait to see him on the court though. But still, we can't ignore the fact that he's put up some extraordinary performances during his time with the 76ers. He only averaged about 16 points a game, but let's not forget that those were some really crucial points. And if he's able to put in an additional 15 to 20 points each game for the Nets, it'll be a game changer. Throughout the 2021-22 season, we noticed how Brooklyn always fell short by a couple of baskets. So yeah, when Curry says that the Nets need him on the floor, he's 100% right. Even if Durant and Kyrie leave, they'll still have a really solid chance of having a good season because the Nets are obviously going to get some good talent in return for their two superstars. If the new team formation is able to gel together and has chemistry, then they're going to be a really dominant force in the coming season. And guess who's going to be leading them? Ben and Curry. Still, it's hard to ignore that he's been out of the game for one whole year now. It's like joining the league all over again. And while there's a lot of examples of players making some incredible comebacks, there's also a lot of players who lost their mojo. Again, guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We're hoping Ben is able to find that rhythm again. But what about all the rumors? His teammates are talking about his return, Ben is posting training videos on Instagram, he's not coming up in any trade deals, so it's confirmed he's going to be with the Nets next season, right? And if we're being honest, he doesn't have a lot of trade value either. But what if we told you the Nets might be considering trading Ben to get Bam Adebayo on board? Now, Miami is still pretty firm about not trading Bam, but if they want Durant, they'll have to give up Adebayo. But this is where it gets interesting. Since Bam and Ben both are on a designated rookie extension, the Nets would have to trade Ben to get Bam on their roster. The KD to Miami deal is still in the pipeline though. Both teams have sort of eased up negotiations since they're waiting to see who breaks first. But it's pretty clear what both teams want, and if they really want it, they'll have to make some bold moves. So what would you be expecting? Well, as much as we're loving the mystery this season has to offer, we're going to keep it real for you. Simmons has no value in the market right now. He hasn't played basketball for over 300 days now. He's obviously worth much less than Adebayo, and that's why we're guessing we'll probably see him starting in the Nets jersey in October. Time for some more NBA. Up next, another player in the mix. Since we're on the topic of Brooklyn Nets, let's talk about the most exciting trade deal of this window, Kevin Durant. Now, we already know Durant has expressed an interest in moving either to the Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat, but both of these teams have sort of gone on the back foot because Brooklyn doesn't really have anything to play with here. KD is a free agent, and the front office doesn't want a player who's no longer interested in the team. So if you think about it, he's pretty much dead weight for the team. Miami and Phoenix both know that, so they're waiting to see who breaks first now. But what if we told you there's another player in the mix now? Yep, the Boston Celtics have expressed a desire to acquire Kevin Durant in exchange for an all-star of their own. Rumors are Boston is willing to give up Jaylen Brown as part of a mega package to get Durant on the team. The Celtics have yet to release a statement about the package, but this has just made things a whole lot more interesting. It runs in the family. Shareef O'Neal has always wanted to follow his father's footsteps drafts and become a big name in the NBA. Sharif left LSU to enter the 2022 NBA draft, but unfortunately, no team really saw him as a good addition to their squad. But now we're hearing news that the 22-year-old has signed a six-figure contract with the G League Ignite team as he continues to make a name for himself instead of cashing in on his dad's. The Los Angeles Lakers also invited Sharif to play with them during the Summer League, and while he only played 10 minutes per game, he still managed to make a really strong impact on the scouts. He averaged about 4 points and 3 rebounds per game, but it's his athleticism that really caught the eyes of several NBA teams. Anyway, Sharif's journey to the top hasn't exactly been an easy one or something. Believe it or not, he actually went through an open-heart surgery back in 2018 while he was at UCLA. That shows a lot. He's a kid on a mission to make a name for himself when literally everyone calls him lucky for being Shaq's kid. Finally, an update on Brittany Griner. Let's get the main concern out of the way. Brittany is doing okay. She's fine. Deputy Chief of the Mission at the U.S. Embassy, Elizabeth Rood, said that she actually looks much better and hopeful now. Her defense team pleaded for some leniency in the court on Tuesday since she's facing up to 10 years for smuggling hash oil into the country. The defense team is working hard to build a narrative that Griner uses the hash oil for medicinal purposes and not recreational, like you know how they say cannabis helps you relax and recover after games. Anyway, we're not really sure how that narrative is selling because these proceedings could go on for a long time before we get some clarity out of the situation. Brittany has been detained in Russia for over 100 days now. She has a lot of support from sports personalities all over the world, but the NBA has remained rather quiet. We're not sure why, but we think it has something to do with global politics. Still, we're hoping she stays safe and gets out soon. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Will Ben be able to make a solid comeback to the NBA? Can he handle the mental pressure of playing after 1 year? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching and see you next time.